Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Watercolor. I am Sarah from Texas, and I missed y'all so much this week. I hope you follow me over on Instagram because that's where I post the most whenever I can't go live. It's just easier to do a story. So follow me everywhere at Sarah from Texas podcast, but I do post most easily on an Instagram story. I do try to post on YouTube as a post. When I make videos, I try to put them on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook and all the things. But if they're under a minute and a half, I promise you it's always going to go up on YouTube, on Instagram. So hello, everybody. Hello. How are you? Are you catching up? Are you busy this summer? I mean, it is so hard. I felt like there was hardly anything on. And now it's like Dubai is on. OC is on. $1 Million Listing LA. One of my 90-day fiance happily ever afters is coming to an end. So I feel like I might have missed the tell-all, but I don't know yet. I need to check. Anyways, so busy, so much fun. I hope you loved watching my videos, my drama, a little bit of drama. I didn't even tell you all the most of the drama. I mean, Southwest Airlines, I will save that for another day. But let's just say, boy, I've got comments, and I just saw several of y'all send it to me also. We flew Southwest from Houston to Orlando, had a layover, then flew from Orlando to Turks and Caicos, the same on the way back. From Turks and Caicos to Orlando, then over to Houston. I love Southwest, but they don't do assigned seating. Woo! Some lady did not understand the assignment on Friday morning, and she called me the B word when we got off the plane. Oh my God. So the fact that Southwest Airlines says in 2025, they are going to start, hello, Tina from Huntington Beach. The fact that they say they're going to start doing assigned seatings means the price is going to go up. But rule followers like me, I mean, if you would just get in the freaking line, if you're B38, getting behind B36, it's not that difficult, people. Okay. Also, don't lie to me when I ask if these two seats are open and you say, oh, no, I'm sorry, my kids didn't check in on time. Again, not my problem. Not my problem. Also, oh, your kid can't sit next to you. Again, not my problem. Don't ask me to move. Don't make me feel obligated. If I see there's a situation and I can tell you're stressed out, all the things, and I offer to move, fine, but don't make me feel obligated to move. Anyways, how the heck are you? I hope you're doing amazing. Thank you, Annie and Tracy and Beth. Everybody, I love that y'all can join live. I realize a lot of you are listening or watching on the replay. So hello. Adore that too. Don't forget, the only live comments that show up on the replay are on YouTube. So everything is Sarah from Texas podcast. It's all free, but on YouTube, there's a button you can click. This is live chat, and you can follow along with people that commented along live. So anyways, TikTok, shout out. You're the only one, not because it's you, but it's TikTok that doesn't put up the replay. Everything else, the replay goes up immediately. And then it says a podcast at Sarah from Texas about 10 minutes later. So anyways, yeah, Cheryl says, I don't move unless it's an upgrade. And it's never an upgrade. No. Instead, I was sitting next to about a 5-year-old, that precious little boy. But his parents weren't sitting next to him, and he kept putting his feet up. Well, where does a kid's feet go? To the side. So where does that mean? In my legs. And he had like these Crocs on, so like the rubber was digging. He didn't feel it at all. Kids are oblivious. They're in their own world. Okay, enough of that. Other than that, we had a fantastic vacation. It was so good to be away. My plans tonight got canceled due to COVID. Not me having COVID, not anyone that I was with, but there's 3 of us couples, including my husband, that has a birthday in the summer, and we have always done a birthday dinner, the 6 of us. We do Christmas dinners, we vacation, we do lots of stuff. Super Bowl, New Year's Eve, we do lots of stuff together, but we always do a birthday thing. And I just got the text this morning that one of the boys have COVID, not my husband. So we're going to reschedule that. But I'm kind of glad because, I was gone for days. Now I can go out to dinner with my family, and anyways, and you'll see tomorrow what else is going on. I mean, because there's always something going on, right? Okay, let's get into it. So much was going on. I paid for the for AT&T to switch my data, instead of just using Wi-Fi at the resort. I paid for us to have the international, signal at the resort, just in case I was off resort, all those kinds of things. And it was pretty good. I was able to listen to Jeff Lewis and the Jeff Lewis Extended. I even got to watch Real Housewives of New Jersey one time because we happened to be home. The evening entertainment was kind of more family oriented, and we didn't really we had teens with us and adults. So the entertainment at night, like the headphone party where you put on headphones and listen to music and dance around. There was a glow party one night. There was a saxophonist, which ended up being like a xylophonist. Anyways, it was, so. So one night we were home early, probably the night we flew in. I can't remember. And I did get to watch New Jersey live on the TV. But other than that, I was trying to watch it on my TV or my phone and listen. And it kept, sometimes I would put the Wi-Fi on for the resort, and then that's how I could get Sirius XM. Sometimes I had to turn that off. So now, yes, silent disco. That's exactly what it was. And they had that in Bahamas last month when I was there with a different kid. And we did it for a little bit, but then we were like, this is kind of dumb. So forgive me if you love a silent disco. The kids were enjoying it. Some of the other people were enjoying it. We were like, not our thing. Thank you, Andrea. She says, love you in orange. Thank you. Well, you'll find out tomorrow, but pretty much today I was like, we landed, we got to the house at like 1 a.m, showered, went straight to bed. I packed and washed and everything. And now I'm repacking today. So you'll find out tomorrow what else I'm doing. Okay. So all week I didn't really take notes, but obviously one of the days, I think it was on the extended, is it the day that Paul and Patrick were on Wednesday? I literally can't remember, but he gave more details on Krista, pretty much sounding like there's no hope with that friendship, right? We're also going to talk about OC for sure. And then of course today's Jeff Lewis, but we're just going to recap this week. New Jersey was kind of really boring. I don't even think I'm going to talk about that a lot. Teresa Giudice's Instagram post was kind of interesting from the other day. No one believes she wrote it. There's no way. I'm sure her attorney wrote it, right? Something about, I've been on this show since it started, and, all the hate and toxicity that's going on between the Bravo bloggers. They're coming at our families. They're coming at our businesses. And I'm like, all I know is a little bit of whatever. And it's like a lot of people that used to be Teresa fans are now Melissa fans and Margaret fans. So I don't know what's going on. Yes, Cheryl Crow says she got lots of hate. Love, 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 Teresa Giudice. Yeah, I agree. We will definitely talk about Jeff and Megan too, Tracy. Jersey is incredibly boring this season. I don't even know that Jersey's coming back. What do you think? You know what it makes me wonder is, what are all these specific New Jersey bloggers going to do? Like, they're going to have to switch over to just being Bravo, right? Kind of boring. But she's basically saying that you've got to stop. These bloggers need to stop coming at the cast and the families. So all I know about it, hey, Kim, all I know about it is from what I see, and I think they've admitted, Jen Aiden has definitely admitted that, a lot of cast members from all the different, franchises get involved or become friendly or go on a podcast with bloggers, fan accounts, Bravo account, podcasters, whatever you want to call these people, content creators, and they have sides, right? So people end up giving them information. One of the things we're going to talk about is something that I was given a while back, some information, never shared it. But now Anna Consas shared it yesterday. So we'll talk about Vicki Gunvalson in a second. That was on. But the Krista thing, I don't know. I don't know when she unfollowed me. She was definitely following me. I was definitely following her. We know about a week and a half ago, Jeff unfollowed her. She was still following Jeff Lewis. Now she doesn't follow Jeff. So I don't know when that happened. She put up an Instagram story saying that something about, don't forget somebody without a TV show or without a show. So she's talking about Jeff. I don't know, saying, don't forget all the good things I did for you, or don't forget all the favors I did for you. So I don't know who she's talking about. I really don't. Every time I've met Krista, she's been extremely nice, so fun, so funny. She's not a mean girl. Like, she's super nice, super whatever with everybody. So I hate whatever's going on with her and Jeff. Do I think they can turn it around? Absolutely. Because as I say, nothing ever shocks me. Jeff Lewis comes in and out of his relationships, his friendships, his family, business people, all the things. So who knows what could ever happen. But everyone that tells me and DMs me is like, he's done. Y'all were chatting about it in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group, saying that he's done, that he'll never come back because she talked about his daughter. So I don't know if that's the main thing he's upset about. A lot of you say, I don't think that he and Heather McDonald, most of you are saying, y'all get so heated in the comments, so opinionated, which I love, because we are a safe place to have opinions, right? But a lot of you are saying that it's Heather McDonald that won't give him the time of day anymore, right? That Jeff might want to be friendly with her again, or, some sort of professional friendship, whatever, but that she will never do that because of what he did for her. But he basically, the other day, I felt like he was apologizing. Look, I've said over and over again, I regret getting involved in that, the earring gate. I regret having a side on that. But then he also basically countered that the other day and said, look, Heather McDonald keeps coming on Patreon. She keeps talking about this on her podcast. So she keeps feeding it too. And that was my argument with everyone. They would say, I mean, if Jeff Lewis talked about earring gate or the Heather McDonald thing, then I would make a video about it and start, talk about it. Maybe once every 4 months, and people will be like, that's all you do is talk about Heather McDonald. And I'm like, no, like, people are telling me all the time how much she used to talk about the Brandy and Julie of it, the Megan, the Jeff Lewis, all the things. And I'm like, I wasn't really talking about it that much. Cheryl says, do you think Heather and Jeff might reunite? Everything I'm reading, these are obviously, you can tell, obviously chumps are Jeff Lewis fans, juicy scoopers are Heather McDonald fans. There's a lot in the mix in the middle, but I think people have kind of picked a side over the last year. Don't forget, this is almost August. This has been going on for like a year now, like craziest. They both have very, very opinionated, very loyal fans, right? Jeff Lewis and Heather McDonald. So they really care about. So somebody is saying, Nana Nane 26, Heather's an opportunist. So what I read that to say that everyone has an opinion about Heather McDonald and Jeff Lewis, and they're definitely picking sides. I think I'm seeing a shift in some opinions, especially in my DMs about Chef Stu. I guess he was recently on a podcast or his own and talked about some things, or, I guess he's kind of maybe rebutted without rebutting specifically, but he is probably to some of the things that Jeff is saying on the radio, and basically saying, look, I can hang out with who I want to hang out with. Like, there was talk of Jill Zarin, who was on. There was talk of him hanging out with Dolores Catania. Jeff made that very clear. Look, those aren't, I'm friendly with Jill. I'm friendly with Dolores. I really like them, but they're not my inner chump circle. Where it gets a little tricky is Megan and Doug. Doug is very much. And so a lot of you are messaging going, oh my God, what if he cuts out Doug? Because Doug and Megan posted about hanging out recently at this Sutton Strack, like probably a promotional party or something like that, right? I don't think he will. I think Jeff will see that as them sort of going to an event, kind of almost not representing Jeff Lewis, but I see that as more of a business thing, right? Or a friendly thing that they happen to be there together. And, you still look, Shane is still following Krista Lamas. I think Krista Lamas still, so there's a lot of things where everyone doesn't unfollow or just completely blacklist or whatever you want to call it whenever Jeff gets upset about somebody. Oh my God. Yes. Cheryl says, or Lisa said it maybe, from your fingers to God's ears. I want to see Jenny Poulos again. And I've seen comments saying Jenny Poulos is sitting there going, mm-hmm. Yeah. Lisa says, I hate for anybody to be mad at each other. Love, love, love. But I mean, that's all Jeff Lewis does. I wouldn't say that's all he does is get mad, but there's definitely parts of that. Anyways, but I don't think, you tell me in comments, do you think Jeff had a problem with Doug and Megan hanging out? Or maybe it's not hanging out, but about posting about it. But then again, it makes people talk and makes people listen to Jeff Lewis. I will get DMs all the time going, oh my God, I'm so behind that I saw your Krista story. Now I need to go back and listen to everything. Tell me what to listen to. So you got people that are like, I'm too busy to listen. But when I see a story on your TikTok or YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, I'm going to go want to know what episodes to go and listen to because I want to know the drama. So that certainly makes people go and listen to his show. So at the end of the day, it's all about the money in a way, right? SM says, are you going to talk about juicy gossip? I'm just wondering. I don't quite understand it all. Well, this is juicy gossip if you're a Jeff Lewis fan. Anyways, okay. Andrea says, Heather's the first that will tell you that, yes, she's thirsty. Right. She admits it, which I love. And Bethany Frankel, same way. She's an opportunist. So you got to respect her hustle. Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely agree. What I don't like is when Heather McDonald was putting me down personally in person and in her videos and her little Instagram stories, all the things, basically saying that, I'm like copying her or like talking about her. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's kind of what I do. A lot of bloggers talk about other people. So I talk about the Jeff Lewis show. I talk about gossip that's going on. So do you. So what the F? Like literally, like don't put me down for you doing the same thing. I mean, she does it on a much bigger scale. Okay. Somebody told me that this was really heating up everywhere. I did see like, not People, but maybe Daily Mail. Somebody did a story. Mindy Cohn was on, I think Monday. Was that the day she was on with Doug? I think Monday. And yes, Rebecca says Sarah's doing the PR work for Sirius. They should at least give you a free subscription. Yeah. Well, whatever. Okay. Mindy Cohn. She basically accidentally, I think, told a story about a falling out between her and one of the Facts of Life girls, and it got picked up like everywhere. So that was actually on the Jeff Lewis show. She called the person a greedy bee. I don't think she said the word bitch, but a greedy bee. We've definitely narrowed it down. I think it's Blair. What's her name? Lisa Welchel or something. And then somebody DM'd or commented maybe on the Facebook group and said, yes, I now remember that a couple of years ago. So this apparently happened during COVID. They were on a Zoom, all four of them, Tootie, Joe, I'm going to say their names, Tootie, Joe, Natalie, and Blair, the Facts of Life girls, all four had agreed to do like a reboot or maybe even like a live version of Facts of Life. I don't even know that she ever said, but they were all agreeing. And then they found out that one of them was going behind all their backs saying, I want my own spinoff show. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want my own spinoff show. And I mean, that just made them all so mad because she had said for 40 years, I don't know if they were always the best of friends, but they'd always had this agreement to mutually respect each other and not go behind each other's back for things like that. So, but I think we've all figured out that it's Blair because somebody said, well, somebody thinks it's Kim Fields, which was Tootie because she was thirsty when she was on Atlanta. I wondered about that too. Cheryl thinks it's Blair. What else do y'all think it is? Nobody thinks it's Joe. And I'm pretty much sure she, well, it's not her. I think she pretty much said it's not Joe. At one point she said something like, go and see who I follow on Instagram. And that might give it away. But then that didn't really make sense. We can't really figure it out. I don't really know. Andrea says Michael Hitchcock. Oh, you growling? Michael Hitchcock was a bit shaky on Jeff Lewis at first, but now, oh my God, he's perfect. Good for the show. I love Michael Hitchcock now. I really do. And I realized he was following me on Instagram. I didn't even know. I don't know when that happened. So I refollowed him back. He actually posts really funny stuff, but he also shows he's been in the business a long time. He shows old commercials that he was in or print jobs, things like that. He was, oh, they're saying hi to you, Luna. Lulu, come say hi. Lulu, come say hi. She's looking at me like, what the hell are you talking? We're on my couch in my bedroom. Oh my goodness, are you gonna come say hi? Oh my goodness, are you gonna come say hi? Oh my goodness, she said hi. She's yawning. Oh my goodness, yes, she did. I miss her so much. Oh my goodness. I gave her all the butt scratches at 1 a.m. last night. Yes, I did. Oh my goodness. Okay, y'all can see her on YouTube and Facebook. I think y'all can just see my arm petting her on the other ones. Okay, Anna Consas. Let me tell you about this. So yesterday she was on. So I don't normally love her. I definitely don't love when her and her daughter used to come on, especially that one episode they were on cooking kibbutz, and the daughter kept getting in the camera. Ugh. But anyways, she tells a story that I don't think I've heard before because I don't necessarily follow the Miami lady so much. But basically, she definitely called out Alexia's first husband, the father of the boys, saying that he has like been threatening and her and her 2 kids. And so she like all of a sudden felt the need to leave her Miami home and go to, I think it's Charlotte, North Carolina. So basically she's renting a home in Charlotte, North Carolina for a year. Right now she's in LA spending time with her daughter, but that got a little crazy with that story. I don't know that she even said at one point something about, I didn't know this show was live. Like, oh my gosh. Now she's saying Alexia's ex-husband, this was the implication I heard, Alexia's ex-husband could know where she was at in order to maybe have someone come to the SiriusXM studios during that 1 hour that he knew that she was at. It's kind of scary the way she was talking about it, right? Let's see, Kimberly. Did Jeff have an issue with Doug being friendly with you? Not that I'm aware of, but Doug doesn't follow me anymore either. So I don't know. I think the whole unfollow all at once, I don't know. You don't get a notification when someone stops following you. So basically a lot of y'all would be like, oh my God, Doug doesn't follow you. And I'm like, oh, okay. And y'all would go check. But I think whenever I got my feelings hurt about the whole Paige Davis thing that happened and woke up one morning, I'm like, F that, unfollowed like everyone, because y'all let me know that Paige wasn't following me. I don't even know. I didn't even look at anyone else who was following me or not following me. And thank you, Andrea. Make sure to like the stream. And unfollowed almost everybody that I followed. I mean, a lot. And then, so I don't know if people have unfollowed me after that, because I'm sure y'all told them, oh, Sarah from Texas just unfollowed you, as if they give a shit. I don't know. So some of them follow me now, some of them don't. A lot of them used to follow me. So who knows? The unfollow game on Instagram is so strong. But Anna Consas was trying, towards the end of the show, she said, hey, I want to promote my new podcast. And it's actually a podcast with David Yontef, who y'all know I'm friendly with, and from Behind the Velvet Rope. He is one of the partners or co-hosts. And then, oh shoot, what's his name? Y'all gonna tell me the name? I promoted it yesterday and I don't remember the guy's name. Someone I'd never heard before. Anyway, he does a Sister Wives podcast, apparently. Anyways, but she told the story of something I'd been told somewhat recently. I just didn't reshare it. It wasn't super juicy, but I just didn't reshare it out of respect. But somebody had told me that they knew for a fact that Vicki Gunvalson was trying to do a podcast because she wants to do anything to beat 2 T's in a pod. So that is Ace Fanning. Thank you. Ace Fanning, David Yontef, and Anna Consas have a new podcast called The Bravo Bench. So it's sort of because David and Anna are both attorneys. Anyways, so Anna tells the same story. She goes, basically 4 months ago, Vicki and I were supposed to do this podcast, which I'm like, you and Vicki don't even know each other. Like, you don't just throw a podcast together when you don't even know someone. Like, it's hard enough. It's hard enough to keep a co-host, happy, apparently. So I've seen so many fallouts. So why would Anna Consas and Vicki Gunvalson do a podcast together? Like, that didn't even make sense to me, right? But basically, it was 4 months. She dragged it on and off. She was vetting her. Even Anna was like, did she call you, Jeff Lewis, to ask about me? Because she was calling everyone and asking me about it. So Vicki, now we know, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, started this other podcast with 1 or 2 other guys. I don't even think anyone's, first of all, the podcast name is so long. It's like, I don't know. It's so long. I can't even remember it. And if you can't remember a podcast when there's 4 gazillion ones out there, what is going to make you, besides Vicki Gunvalson thinking everyone wants to hear what she has to say, what is going to make you remember a podcast if you can't, or go to listen to it if you don't even remember what the name is, right? It's like this really long name, right? High Quality Hot Dog Bun is the name of your TikTok account. Yeah, Vicki Gunvalson's, Aaron says they've announced the name of Vicki's. Yeah, hers has started. I just can't remember the name of it. It's like the blank, and the blank. It's like 3 different words. That's all I can remember about it. But that was interesting that Anna pretty much said, oh yeah, that's the only reason she's doing a podcast, is to beat out 2 T's. And then Jeff didn't even look, I think it was during a commercial break. Yeah, it was during a commercial break. I watched the commercial breaks last night for yesterday's show. And he was like, oh, I mean, it's going to be hard to beat 2 T's. I mean, it really is. Like, it's, that's a pretty successful Bravo podcast. And remember, a few weeks ago, I was talking about David Yontiff and I think Sarah Fraser doing a podcast together. And they were talking about all the different Bravo podcasters that they've gone away. So, they think, oh, it's going to be easy. We're going to make money. I can just talk for an hour. No, there's a lot that goes into it and you got to promote it. So, all the things. Okay. Some of you are asking if Justin Martindale and Krista being friends is going to be an issue for him being on the show. So clearly he was on the show yesterday. Nothing came up about it at all. Nothing came up about it at the commercial, the pre-show, the after show, none of that. I don't think it's going to be a problem. First of all, Justin Martindale seems to have his own life. As fun as he is, y'all know I've gone out with him a couple of times. Or maybe once. Anyways, at Schmitty's, the after party to the Hollywood House Live party. So fun, but he's got a serious boyfriend. I don't know that he's necessarily into like going out to all the dinners and all the things that like Joey Zalzig is interested in. Joey is newly single, but even when Joey was with Brian, he was up for going out and doing things. So he was way more outgoing than his, husband Brian at the time. But I just don't feel like it's going to affect anything. I feel like I've seen Monica and Krista post each other since the fight with Krista and Jeff about Monica helping Krista like organize and doing some things around the house. And I've also seen Justin and Krista talk about helping each other or helping Justin move. So I think people send that information to Jeff. I think he knows about it. I don't think it bothers him because I don't think it's his inner circle people. So I don't think it's going to be a situation where like he was upset a few weeks ago about Scary Sherry and Megan saying, look, if y'all are going to be friends with Chef Stu, I don't want that because y'all are in my inner orbit. I don't want him asking questions about me. I don't want you accidentally just telling a story about me. Like, I don't want him knowing things about me. And a lot of you had experiences with that, divorces. Some people told me about when you were sober, how you had to really pick and choose who were your real friends anymore. Because, eventually when we all change as we grow, Jeff Lewis has said around age 50, we all kind of mature and, we kind of realize who we need in our life, what we're able to get past, what we're not able to get past. So I do feel like it was mature of him to tell Scary Sherry that he wasn't okay with him being professionally or personally hanging out with Chef Stu. The thing with Megan, I almost didn't think, and I don't know because we don't know everything. We only know what Jeff Lewis tells us on the radio. That is all we know, folks. I don't get any extra information from Jeff Lewis. If I did, I certainly wouldn't share it if it was, private information. But we only know what he tells us. I personally didn't think it sounded like Jeff Lewis and Megan had a conversation of him giving her the opportunity to say, look, who's more of a priority in your life, me or Chef Stu? Because if you were hanging out with Chef Stu and possibly talking about me, things like that, I don't want that at all. So I never really got a feel that he gave her that chance. What do you think? Like, I just felt like he just said, we're not in the same place. He said, I understand. I get the DMs all the time. We want it back in the day. We want the COVID days where it was Jeff and Shane and Megan and Doug just sitting around talking. Well, that's not what it is. It's not COVID anymore. It's not the pandemic. They can go into the studio. They can have guests. They can have co-hosts, celebrities on. So it's not going to be that way. But he also said very clearly, Megan and I are not in the same place. Like, it's just not the same. Yeah, Christina says Megan is sober now. So a lot of you think it has to do with Megan being sober, but she's been sober for a long time and was still, like, I've seen her when she was drinking. I've seen her when she was sober, and she's the same. Well, not, I'm sure not. I never saw her drunk. So I only saw her casually drinking, like at things like Watch What Happens Live. You know, we had a drink together. I never saw her, you know, the way Jeff and maybe some of them saw her. Christina says Megan is sober now. Maybe that's why she chose Stu. Yeah, no idea. No idea. George says Doug still hangs with Chef Stu. See, I don't see any of that, but maybe I'm missing that. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't seen any of that. Cheryl Crow says, I think Megan stopping drinking has changed the vibe. I definitely think so. Y'all know I'm not a big drinker. So on the trip to Turks and Caicos, my friend does drink socially, casually, and it's not a big deal at all. We've been friends for so long. It doesn't, but there are definitely some people, even at my age, at 51 years old, kind of make me feel like, oh, just have a drink. What's wrong? And I'm like, nothing's wrong. I just don't want to drink. Like, anyway, so I definitely think that can happen when some people get sober. I don't feel like any of the people that are Megan's friends for so long and all the inner circle chumps, I don't think they would treat her any differently being sober. So I don't know. Silas says Stu is a drinker, but I don't feel like he's a big party animal drinker. Like, I don't think so at all. And I've never, ever seen him like that. I've never seen him in person super drunk at all or drunk at all. And I've never seen him post on Instagram drunk at all like that or talk about being super drunk. I don't know. Cheryl says, I think Jeff is slowing down drinking on the drinking thing. He definitely says he is. Oh, you can say hi again? You can say hi again? No, she's going to go to the other side. Oh, Gina missed you so much. Yes, that's good. Okay. Yes, Andrea says it sure was a highlight in COVID. Got me through some tough days. You know, and I'm so bummed. I didn't know about the app, so I didn't even know how to listen to SiriusXM at the time. I thought I could only get it in the radio, and I had to listen live or the replay. Anyways, true. Andrea says, when I'm not drinking, I can't be around people that slur or get sloppy, even if I am drinking. I don't like liability drinkers. See, and that doesn't bother me unless it gets messy or mean or physical, you know, which I don't hang around anybody like that anyways, but I'm always the designated driver anyway. So I guess it doesn't bother me. Uh-oh. Kathy says, give Luna some hugs. Oh, I give you some hugs. Oh my gosh. I never knew I'd be a dog mom. Never knew. True. Andrea says, after a certain age, drinking is just too hard on your body. I mean, and Jeff's talked about that, right? He talks about doing the live reads better whenever he hasn't drank the night before. Michael Riley says Chef Stu's not slowing down. He's having a ball. But I mean, as far as like being a drinker, like irresponsible, I don't feel like he was ever an irresponsible drinker at all that I'm aware of. Anyways, what else? Let's move on to OC. I mean, I loved, so it's only on episode 3. I was worried that the whole season was going to be, the whole season 18 was going to be about Shannon Bedore. I don't feel like it was, but who the hell thought doing a flag football game on the beach with a bunch of 50, 40, 60-year-old women was like, it was so dumb. So dumb. I was like, you know, oh, that he's Irish. Oh yeah, that he's Irish. Yeah. Oh gosh, Christine is Traders. Oh, when does Traders 3 come on? Christina says, I hope Dorinda isn't slurring on Traders. I don't think they're able to get I think they're doing so much during Traders. I don't feel like I saw anyone drunk on Traders 2. Y'all know I didn't end up finishing Traders 1 season 1. That makes me think of that Brandy Glanville post that she recently did where it's like, it was a pretty rough looking picture of her on Instagram. And it was like, thanks a lot, Bravo. Even if I wanted to work, I probably couldn't right now. It was really kind of sad for sure. Wait, which show? Oh, OC. D said that show was the worst it's ever been. Even Jill Zarin was kind of giving digs at it, right? Like saying that it was kind of boring. Okay. So episode 3 last night, Emily called Jen Pedranti a Malibu broke Barbie. Kind of like that. I don't know. I see people taking up for Jen. I see people being really mad at Gina for last week's episode of basically her kind of giving out the financial or the kind of the gossipy information that Jen couldn't pay her bills or couldn't pay her $12,000 rent. I feel like you're on a reality show. I mean, we'll talk about it in a minute, but Emily Simpson is an attorney and she kind of cleared up that even though she doesn't have a real estate license, she said it's not the same. They don't have the client attorney privilege kind of rule like they do for attorneys in the real estate world. So I don't know that she legally gave up anything. Would anyone want it? But it's a reality TV show. You kind of gotta say something. That's kind of the deal, right? But if I see, okay, it's not owing money because nobody loaned her money. But if you know that somebody is living in a $12,000 house that they're not paying rent on for 5 months, yet they show up in their Range Rover, they show up with full glam that costs money. Now, her defense, Jen Pedranti, when somebody asked her about that, I think on Watch What Happens Live, but I can't remember, was the fact that, well, there's trade outs. Like, I will post my hairdresser, I will post the makeup person and say things. Like, I wonder if Glam by Pam is paid by Shannon Bedore or Denise Richards, who has so much promoted her. She's been on, I would never know Glam by Pam. I mean, I now know that's her Instagram, Glam by Pam. So if I ever needed hair and makeup and I thought I could afford her and she was available, which I can't, I would probably reach out to her because I've learned about her, which is what promoting is, from Denise Richards and Shannon Bedore in particular. But so that's what happens. So in some ways I'm like, well, you're not going to show up on national TV without glam or surrounded by everyone else does. But when they know also she can't pay her rent, she's not getting a job, she is in business, I guess, with this gym, but they know that's not making money. It's maybe not losing money, but it's not making money. It's like, go get a job. I think Gina's like, look, I've been through it. I had a marriage. Okay. Okay, now. Okay, maybe it's back. Okay, I think it's okay. But the fact that Alexis Bellino is talking about her and John Janssen's having sex 4 times a week. I mean, I sort of love that Shannon came on and was like, look, he's 60 something years old. Like, that's not what happened with us. So, is there a pill? I mean, and like, what do you call the little blue pill? Whatever that one's called. Clearly, we don't need to use it yet, or maybe never. 4 times a day. I mean, they all have kids. I think his kids are older. Her kids are kind of young. I don't know what her Viagra, yes. I don't know what her co-parenting situation was with her ex, Jim Bellino, but they've got, how many kids does Alexis Bellino have? Who the hell even knows anything about Alexis Bellino? She's so freaking gross. I just think she's so gross. Okay, but the fact that when Jen Pedranti said, they said that she got married to her ex-husband young. I don't know what young is in her. I don't know. They didn't say an age. But when she said at 46 years old, she's never still had a credit card in her name. I mean, I guess she's just one of these women, and I know that they're out there. I'm just not one of them. I bought my own house on my own, no help from my parents, no boyfriend, no one paying my bills at 24. Was I 24? Anyways, so I definitely had credit cards. I definitely had credit in my name, but the fact that she's saying that she didn't have that just kind of made me feel sorry for her. It made me feel like she wasn't just being lazy. I think she was so overwhelmed. Does she have 7 kids? I think they do. Why do they keep saying 4? That has way more than 4 kids walking around that house. I mean, clearly. But the fact that she has that many kids, she never thought her ex, who lives in Oklahoma, worked for her family's company, would never not pay her rent for her. And apparently he came on hard times and he is not paying his bills. He's not in a good situation. Maybe feel more sympathetic for her. Like, I don't think if they would have said that information, I would have still I still feel like she should get a job. But then I'm like, you got 7 kids and they're young. I mean, I think some of the older ones could maybe babysit the older ones. I feel like it's all 7 of hers though. Tracy says are some of the kids his. I don't feel like they are. I think some of his kids live in the house and they don't show them at all. Right? So I do feel like they alluded to the fact that he has kids in the house. She's got her 7 and then them, and then they act like they want to bang it out all day long. I'm like, you got all these kids around. Like, get out of the dang swimming pool where your kids are swimming around, like taking your top off and grossing me out. Andrea says she's so ditzy and doesn't seem to care like anything else. Care to seem like anything else. Yeah. Well, and Emily Simpson got into it a little bit, and Emily didn't seem to be defending her at all. She's like, "Oh yeah, she comes across as very nice and but basically she was like, get your shit together though." Like she and Jeff Lewis are very black and white. There's no gray. It's like, you rented a house for $12,000 a month. You knew you didn't have that money. So at some point, when are you going to make an attempt to move out? But where was she going to move? Like, where was she going to get the money? Where do her parents live? How much money does she make on OC? Like, I don't know. I have so many questions. Oh, okay. H. Daniels. Sorry, I don't have my regular setup here today. So MJ mentioned in her podcast that as a realtor, you shouldn't release or expose a client's financials. I think you shouldn't do that at all. I don't think it's a legal obligation, those. You know what I mean? That's true. Libby says you don't know what her ex told her about the rent. I'm assuming, well, but she says they don't even talk, right? They don't even have any communication. So it's kind of crazy. What do you think about Gina? I kind of agree with Tamara. I've never heard of anyone, I'm 51. I don't really know people living together anymore. Most everyone I know has been married for a while, but I don't know of people that live together for 4 years and then say it's too crowded or we couldn't financially, I don't know, they couldn't afford to buy a house. She owns this, whatever. Wasn't Travis paying some of the rent? Was he not? If he's not, and they're still together, then what did he do? Kick her out to go get a 1-bedroom apartment? Like for 3 kids? I don't even know. It's crazy. I don't know why it's frozen. Is my Instagram frozen? Trying to type and see if that works. I hate technology so freaking bad. Like, there is nothing wrong with the weather. I paid for the strongest Wi-Fi ever. I have no idea. Libby says Travis gives me red flags. Why? I did meet him at BravoCon. Okay, we're good on Instagram. I did meet him at BravoCon. I thought he was super nice. But yeah, I wondered what that meant. It seemed like Gina was saying, there's 6 kids in the house. I can only afford to pay for 3 people to do stuff. But then I felt really bad. Look at my sunspots coming out. Then I felt really bad that I couldn't pay for his 3 kids. Does that mean he couldn't chip in? Like if they're just dating, then if you go to the movies and you got 6 kids, like we have 5, he pays for those 3 tickets and himself, and she pays for the 3 tickets and herself, right? Like, why does she need it? Made it sound like he's having financial reasons on top of the issues with his ex-wife, making it very difficult to co-parent, where she's having a very easy time co-parenting now with Matt. I think in the beginning, it wasn't so great, right? What do you think of calling Jen a squatter? I didn't think it was bad at all. I mean, it's the definition, right? The definition of a squatter is living somewhere where you're not either up to date on rent or you're not paying rent at all. And she was 5 months, I think, behind and $12,000. And then you got to think, whoever owns that house, what financial situation are you putting them in? Are they not able to pay their other? Are they not able to buy groceries? I mean, I don't know. How is that affecting them if they are not getting their rent paid? That I assume is it's for a financial reason to have, what do you call it? Rental property, rental income, right? Kat said they need more rooms for the kids. Yeah. Oh, Mari says it seems like she's doing a soft breakup. Travis rescued her 4 to 5 years ago. And everyone, I think, was it Emily and Shane? Or was it on OC? I can't even remember where it was at. But somebody was talking about how when he did rescue her, start dating her, he didn't know that things were going to get so good between Gina and Matt. So at the time, things were bad. There was this allegation, not even allegation. I think they went to court of like some funny domestic abuse, and maybe he had to go to stuff. And oh gosh, Boone is just looking at me like, what in the hell are you talking about? She's like, OC schmocy. Who am I talking about? Anyways, okay, so Shane and Emily Simpson were on today. Jeff starts out. So now he has $10,000 dinners, and now he has $5,000 to go to drinks with people. I sort of wonder how long that lasts. Like our $10,000, not ours, I was only a guest. Melanie and Scott's $10,000 dinner was 3.5 hours long. So what does a $5,000 drinks? Is that like 2 hours? Like, oh my God, 5,000. That's just, I don't know. It's $10,000 seems like more of a deal to me, but then I'm wondering kind of how, he didn't say anything about the whoever it was. And sometimes he'll say like, oh, it was so fun. Jen has 4 minor kids. Alexis has an 18-year-old son and twins that are 16. I told my partner, I love that. Andrea says, I told my partner I was charging him $1,500 to go to dinner with him. That's funny. Yes. Is it Nana? Nana Nene 26. Oh, I think I figured out your name. I think surprised that her dad actually let the ex go. She thinks her charmed life will go on and on. Oh, with the ex-husband. But I think he's out of money. Something's going on with that husband in Oklahoma. Something's going on with that. So Shane, I met last BravoCon a couple of times. He's actually very nice. He's, I don't think any of us, I certainly didn't like him the first season or 2, maybe even 3 on, this is now her 6th season on the show. I think now he knows his place. I think he understands the fandom of it all. I think he came from money. I think his parents had money. He's an attorney. They live in a very nice house, very nice neighborhood, I think across the street from his parents. But I don't think he was used to the fame and being kind of nitpicked and stuff. So I think he's kind of found his place. I think he understands. I think they're so funny. But she even says, Emily says, when they first started on OC, their marriage wasn't in a good place. Their kids were younger. She was in a lot of pain from her hip. I mean, there was just a lot more going on. He was studying all the time for the bar exams. Is that what it's called when you're trying to be an attorney? Whose parents are so kind? Kay Smith. Her parents are so. Whose parents are loaded? Oh, his. Michael Riley or Shane's parents loaded. His mom is a riot. Oh my God. She looks like she's way more of a party animal than I could ever dream to be. Oh, Christina says Team USA has arrived at the Olympics. I'll be watching it later tonight. Shout out Olympics. I should say go USA, but I know there's lots of people from all over the world that watch Sarah from Texas. So maybe we'll just stick with go whoever's country you're rooting for, but go USA for us, right? Anyways, referring to Jen. Jen Aiden's parents have money. I mean, Jen Pedranti. Then why did they let the $12,000 rent not get paid? I mean, if you got money, $12,000 a month is not, going to break you. That's interesting then. Because wasn't the dad on the lease too? So legally he was bound to pay for that. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Anyways, thank you, Mama Judy. Yes. No, he does not anymore, Andrea. They cleared that up today, either on OC last night or Shane and Emily Simpson cleared that up today. He doesn't work for her parents anymore in Oklahoma. So, well, Nika Lisa says her dad did end up paying for it. I don't know if they were aware. So then they're not squatters. I mean, if your dad ends up paying the bill, it doesn't matter who's paying the bill, as long as someone is. They're not squatters, right? I mean, they don't live there anymore anyways. They finally moved in with Ryan, but she's really reliant on him, and her kids are reliant on him. What'd you think of Shane's kids? So they were always off the TV. I'm assuming the ex-wife maybe didn't want them there or on TV, but they're now 23 and 18. So now they're kind of free to move wherever because they'll be away at college, or the youngest will be away at college, but I don't feel like they want to move anywhere. He's divorcing her. He don't want to pay her bills anymore. Yeah. I don't know. I love Emily. I love how honest she is about her daughter, the little spicy 11-year-old. She was like, we're putting her in summer camp all summer because she's driving us nuts. But she was very adamant about, Jen Pedranti needs to be getting a job, needs to be paying the rent, doesn't need to be driving a Range Rover if she can't afford it, doesn't need a $12,000 house if she can't afford it. I don't care how many kids you have. You got to live within your means. And if things change, and it's not like been a month, it's been years that she and her husband are separated. Shoot, she's been with Ryan for years. I mean, they're not a new couple either. Oh my God, I bet they'd let you buy them a dinner. Andrea says, I adore Emily and Shane. I bet they're fun as hell to go to dinner with. Yeah. Oh, Annie says you can only have 2 drinks on Traders. That's not the case on Bachelor and Bachelorette. I feel like they really want them to get drunk on there, and obviously Housewives. I wonder if they will start. I wonder if they'll stop or start limiting alcohol, at least as far as production providing it. I think MJ has said before, somebody said, one of the housewives said pretty much if you want alcohol, they will bring it to you. Like they will whatever. But I don't know if in 2024, that's how it's going to be anymore. You know what I mean? Kind of interesting. Oh, Judy says it takes close to a year to get renters out for any reason. This situation is very suspicious. Yeah, I've heard about that. That they basically, whoever's living in the house has the rights, even if they're not paying the rent, right? Kind of crazy. Okay, real quick, we're going to wrap it up soon. Jill Zarin and Ryan Bailey were on the Jeff Lewis extended show. I thought it was interesting that Jill Zarin was on the extended show. Love her. I think she is such a worker bee that I think she would just do anything to see Jeff Lewis, get her JillZarin.com promoted, her rugs, her charity event, code Jeff, promo code Jeff20 to get 20% off, jillzarin.com. I assume anything. I don't know that it's really said. But they didn't talk about this charity event at all as far as Chef Stu being there. I just don't think she has anything to defend. I think she curates and invites people. She lets people buy tickets and then invite friends, all to raise money in honor of her ex-husband, Bobby. So I don't think it's anything. I don't think Jeff was going to muddy the waters or get nitpicky like that, because he's already been asked by a caller days ago, and he already explained all of it, that I'm not super close with Jill. She's not one of my whatevers. She was on Wife Swap? Wait, what? Jill Zarin is a vile human. Go watch her Wife Swap episode. Now, I know she was on, obviously, Real Housewives of New York and The GOAT, and God, what else has she been on? Ultimate Girls Trip. Was she on The Traitors? No. Anyways, but Below Deck. Wow. Oh, a Celebrity Wife Swap. Oh, okay. I think okay. I'm gonna defend Jill Zarin. You know, she knows exactly what she's doing. She has said it outright. She knows exactly how to turn it up for the cameras. She even said today, this little tiff that she had with Countess Luann, a real legit tiff, she said it would have turned into a whole season. She would have complained to Ramona, complained to Bethany, she complained to, she would have blown it up for ratings. She knows exactly what she's doing. I think that's what she's doing. She is the only reason I watched those 2 episodes of Below Deck this year. She is the reason. So at the end of the day, she is willing to take the heat and be in the kitchen, if you will, for all the hate of Below Deck when she gave them ratings. You know what I mean? Oh, really? Hydra on TikTok says alcohol is extremely limited on Love Island. So I would think the opposite. Yeah, where can we find her episode of somebody send that to me and I'll try to watch it. We don't want that as true Bravo fans. We want real drama, Jay Free says. I get it. I think Jill Zarin is so good and so honest that I think she does let us know, hey, production does this, production does this. I amped it up a notch. I thought that's what they wanted on Below Deck. I don't want to hear that. I just want to hear that she was being a big bee and complaining about Diet Coke and giving them unsolicited advice and all the things. You know what I mean? Judy says it was all for storyline. They did pay. They just needed a reason for Jen to move in with Ryan. I don't think she has the money though. Like she legit doesn't have the money, right? Oh, Andrea coming in with the information. Celebrity Wife Swap, Season 3, Episode 11. Who is Jen Von Oy? Okay, Jill Zarin and Jen Von Oy. O-Y. Celebrity Wife Swap, Season 3, Episode 11. Thank you, Andrea. Yeah, for sure. Yes, when you swap, you sign up for unsolicited advice for sure. Anyways, okay, we're going to wrap it up real quick. But Jill did say that she asked Bethany Frankel if she would do $10,000 dinners with fans. And Bethany was like, yeah, I don't do that. I was like, oh, God, that was the most Jill Zarin thing ever for sure. But, you know, when she was kind of shading OC because she was saying, yeah, I want to see money on the show. Like, I don't want to see these people not being able to pay their $12,000 rent. You know what I mean? Okay, it was in 2014, so 10 years ago. Wow. I mean, Jill Zarin is very, 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 very opinionated. I mean, I love her. I mean, I've met her, I think once or twice. I just think she's great personally. Oh, it's on Hulu. Oh, I think I have Hulu too. I always forget what all we have, but I think we have Hulu. Anyways, but she admits that, you know, reality TV is a little overproduced and extra dramatic. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us live. I missed y'all so much. Make sure you go back and watch the replay if you didn't catch us at the very beginning. Make sure you're hitting the follow me button or the live. Make sure I'll usually promote it on my Instagram story, Sarah from Texas Podcast. If I'm able to go live, I hope to go live all next week. I don't know. Again, I'll be in a situation that I'll be at the mercy of Wi-Fi and schedules. So I will try. But anyways, I missed y'all so much. And I hope you have an amazing weekend. Bye, y'all. And I should be back in my closet soon. My daughter, I'm in my bedroom right now. Okay. Bye, y'all. Bye, TikTok. Thanks for joining. If you want to watch the replay, go to any of the other social medias at Sarah from Texas. Okay. Bye, y'all.